a student need to have in his mindset for preparing for NSEP exam?
So because like you have to solve 60 question in 2 hours, you have to switch from that mindset that okay,
solving objective problems or an NSEP.
Now let's shift our focus to NSEP journey. Okay, like the exam, the journey, the kind of preparation it needs, the kind of mindset it needs. So I'll start by asking Chandan sir. Chandan sir, what is the fundamental difference that you see? That a student need to have in his mindset for preparing for NSEP exam.
Okay. So one major difference that I can tell is like while solving an INPhO problem or IPhO problem, you need to be like able to spend time with the question, right? Because you have like at least 30-40 minutes to solve a question, right? And you can't have that flight mode switched on, because like then every question will look like frightening, and then you will just move on from the question. So you can't do that, right? So in INPhO, you have to spend time with the question. In NSEP, you should be ready to leave the question. So because like you have to solve 60 question in 2 hours, so you should be like really choosy in actually the questions that you want to solve or you have to solve in those 2 hours. Second aspect is like the level of preparation that is required, or the type of problems that you need to solve to actually do INPhO problems. So like INPhO problems are usually go on to like 2 pages, 3 pages long. So you have to have that patience level that you won't be getting answer every third line, right? So you have to be ready to do like lot of algebra, calculus in between, and then you will be getting the answer. But like while doing a JEE question, we get impatient if we are not getting answer every third or fourth minute, right? Then it seems like we have spent a lot of time and then we have to move on. So again, we have to switch from that mindset that, okay, in one exam, you have to spend time. You should be ready for it mentally. And in another one, you obviously can skip and you should be able to skip and move on.
Okay. So I get the gist that, there's definitely the difference in the time that we get to spend on the question. Like per question time is it's a vast difference, and therefore the mindset is also different. Like we have to be mentally prepared for longer solutions if we are preparing for exam like INPhO. But for NSEP, the solutions will not be that long. It will be a 3-step problem, maybe a 4-step problem, and we need to maintain our speed. And correspondingly, the preparation also differs when it comes to the 2 exam. Like I cannot say that having prepared for NSEP, and if I just continue to prepare in the same way, then I'll be able to clear the INPhO examination. Is what I understand. In the 2 months that we get in between the 2 examinations, we need to ensure that the preparation for INPhO dedicatedly is happening as far as the pattern of questions is concerned. As far as the theory also, is there a difference in the theory also, like the depth of the topic that we have to see to prepare for INPhO?
Riddhesh?
Yeah. There is a difference in depth, obviously, because they ask long questions, so they go deeper and deeper. NSEP would be like maybe the first 2 parts of the problem, but INPhO is more about the later parts. So yeah, depth is required.
Okay, great. Okay, so to crack NSEP, speed is a must, is what I understand. Like you need to have the speed of solving, and you need to be able to fetch marks. So Riddhesh, this question is to you. You have cleared the exam. Like if I ask you any tips or any specific strategies to increase the speed, maybe while preparing for the exam or maybe during the exam, like something related to writing the test in the exam hall, or preparing in a certain way. I would like to let our students know if there are anything that they can do to increase the speed.
So NSEP is like, it's objective, and the main thing is that you are not fighting the problems, you are fighting with time. So the main focus should be on just collecting as much marks as you can and not on solving problems. That is one thing which, I mean, when I was giving NSEP mocks, I had this thing that I think all the good students have this ego in them that koi bhi problem hai to mujhse hona hi chahiye, and I will not move until I solve this problem. I think that is something which you need to leave aside when you are solving objective problems or an NSEP. And I personally had hard time leaving that, but I am finally over that ego now. So it's something like if you think that this problem is going to take time, or it's something which I know I can solve, but it will take time, you need to leave that aside and do other problems which is going to fetch you marks. So that is some strategy which I would say is like, sir had told me to solve the problem paper into by scanning it twice. So first do the easier and moderate ones, and then do the lengthier or maybe the hard ones in which you have to think. So that's something which is important, I would say. So you just need to focus on maximizing marks. That's it. Nothing else.
Okay. So mindset, maybe like the mindset would be on.
As I said, you are fighting time. It's not about your concept clarity or something. It's mostly about time and temperament.
All right. So the student should be okay to, to leave the question, like even if the question is from an.
It's not IPHO as in you have only 3 problems. You have 60 problems. You can leave 1 or 2 of them. So.
Okay, great. Got it. Riddhesh, I'll ask this question to you also, Chandra sir. Like, but first I will ask Riddhesh. Like, are there any high yield chapters? Like, since you are saying that we should be able to fetch marks, in limited amount of time that we get. So, are there any high yield chapters that we should prepare for an NSEP?
I won't say that. First of all, if you're preparing for NSEP in this manner, that I want, I will do specific topics and get marks. So there are topics, obviously, optics and every EM maybe, which is like you only know the lens formula and you can solve the problem. But if you learn physics in that way just to get marks, then it won't help you any further. That's the one thing. The other thing is that, well, there are topics which I won't say are high yield, but which have easier problems. So maybe kinematics or maybe electrostatics or something like that. So they have relatively easier problems or more straightforward ones which you might have done earlier. So that might be something which you can focus while practicing, but not while learning physics. While learning, I think one should go like give equal weightage to everything. That's it.
So you clearly don't like the idea of selective study, like the kuch chapter pad lo, kuch chhod do.
Practice is okay, but selective study, I won't say.
Okay. And Chandra sir, what is your take on this? Like,
it's a story. You cannot skip the parts. It is a story. You need to read it.
Okay.
So, like in my opinion, sir, like I think if you are preparing for Olympiads, so I think at least you should prepare for at least let's say INPHO, right? Then effectively, like if you have the conceptual depth, right? So solving problems would be easier. Like in NSEP, then you only have to increase your speed, right? But the other way is not possible. Like, so effectively, let's say one student wants, like, I want to clear NSEP in class 10th. And like in 6 months, I will just brush up on the concepts, remember the formulas, then I would be able to clear NSEP, right? But I would say like if you study just for NSEP in 6 months, even though like you are skim over the syllabus, that 6 months are kind of totally lost. Because again, like whether you are preparing for JEE or INPHO, again, like you will have to start from kinematics. You will have to study the same things again, and then have to go deeper also. So effectively that 6 months, let's say that you spent doing just an SEP preparation didn't help you in any future goal that you want to achieve. So effectively, I think you should study it completely first and then like be exam ready. So you can solve a lot of objectives, do a lot of mocks, and then appear for an SEP. I think Riddhesh did like, I think 15 mocks, full syllabus mocks in, I guess, November.
And part tests.
10, I guess, around part test,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So 25 mocks. So switching back is easier, but like just saying कि पहले थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेते हैं, NSEP निकाल लेते हैं, फिर देखेंगे आगे क्या होगा. I don't think that's like a good strategy.
Yeah. And there are people who try that.
Yes. So got the gist that मतलब ये कि आधे रास्ते जाके क्या ही हो रहा है, आधे रास्ते जाने की तैयारी क्यों कर रहा हूँ, तो तैयारी तो पूरे आगे गांव तक पहुंचने की करनी चाहिए.
And also if you मतलब वही है कि अगर वैसे तैयारी कर भी ली गिरते पड़ते तो वापस स्टार्टिंग से करनी पड़ेगी.
Yes. Okay. All right. सर HC वर्मा जो एक किताब होती है, ऑलमोस्ट सारे फिजिक्स पढ़ने वालों के घर पे होती ही है. मतलब चाहे वो बच्चा जेईई की तैयारी कर रहा हो, चाहे बच्चा नीट की तैयारी कर रहा हो, या किसी भी लेवल पे फिजिक्स पढ़ रहा हो, अगर 11th 12th की फिजिक्स बच्चा पढ़ रहा है तो HC वर्मा तो उसके घर पे मिलेगी ही मिलेगी. ठीक है. तो अगर एक बच्चा NSEP की भी तैयारी कर रहा है, is HC वर्मा a good book to use? If yes, how? All right. And if it again क्या वो sufficient होगी? अगर वो good book है भी और हम उसको सही तरीके से यूज कर भी ले, तो क्या वो NSEP के लिए तो sufficient है या हमें कुछ और बुक्स की भी जरूरत पड़ेगी? तो इस पे मैं आप अगेन रितेश तुमसे स्टार्ट करते हैं कि तुम्हारा ओपिनियन क्या है, फिर मैं चलो सर आपका भी ओपिनियन सुनूंगा कि आप अगर बच्चों को एडवाइस करते हो तो बच्चों को क्या एडवाइस करते हैं, तो व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन दिस रितेश?
I might get a lot of hate on this thing, but मैंने अच्छी वर्मा नहीं किया completely, थोड़ी बहुत की, and
Okay.
even more hate on this statement, but I believe that book is overrated. Anyways, so I mean it's good. It has a good theory and explanations, and the problems are okay. They increase in level slowly, so it's a good thing to do by yourself. But मैंने नहीं किया है.
तुमने मेरे प्रेवाइस को ही खत्म कर दिया, मैं कह रहा हूँ हर बच्चे के घर पे
मेरे पास है और मैंने की भी है, but I feel it's a bit overrated.
चलो मेरा ये प्रेवाइस तो ठीक था कि वो सारे फिजिक्स पढ़ने वालों के घर पे तो
मेरे
होती
पास 3 कॉपीज है दोनों वॉल्यूम की, so it's correct.
सही है। तो चंद्र सर आपका क्या कहना है इस बारे में?
Means again, sir, for basic understanding, it is a good book, but I think both JEE Advanced and INPHO are more evolved exams. So let's say if you are keeping INPHO in mind, right? And like means I guess like for NSEP preparation, I think
Yeah.
it covers almost all the concepts. So we could do that. But as I think was I think Riddhesh also wants to emphasize on the previous point that if you keep INPHO as the target, that it doesn't have ample theory in it.
Yeah.
Or like all the concept or types of problems, like those are not covered in it. So if you just want to do one book, then I won't suggest it. But let's say like if you have target like, okay, I want to clear my basics and want to do NSEP this year, like, or basic level concepts, then it's good.
So what I understand is that given that we are of the opinion that if the student has started the Olympiad journey, then INPHO is the minimum that the student should aim for. So in this aspiration, HC Verma falls short. Like it takes care only up till your NSEP preparation, and therefore, if you're solving that book, then parallelly we have to solve another content to take the level to INPHO. So there has to be additional content that we need to solve.
Yes.
Okay. So Riddhesh, given that you did not solve HC Verma, major, what was the content that you solved that prepared you for both NSEP as well as INPHO?
What was the content?
Yeah.
So for theory, I don't think I referred much. I mean, at least till INPHO, I did not refer much to the books because sir ke lecture hi bahut hai. For the problem practice, I think we did SBT in classes. So like as we learned the topics, we used to do the problems alongside, and then maybe Irodo or a bit of Irodo. I haven't done Irodo completely as well, but yeah, most of it. So for problem practice, I think I mostly referred to SBT while learning. It's a very good book, except that it has some errors.
Okay, great. Okay. The NSEP pattern consists of single choice correct question and multiple choice correct question. Okay, so any inputs as far as your preparation is concerned, like the pattern of question, does it create any difference to the way you prepare for the exam?
I don't think it makes a difference in preparation, but it does make a difference in mindset. As I said, right, you need to maximize your marks. So some people might start with the multiple choice questions because they are +6, and so I mean it depends on from person to person. But yeah, I think it won't make a difference on preparation. But surely in the exam you need to have it on the back of your mind that if you are solving the single correct, you have multiple correct yet to do. So yeah.
Okay. And did you make, like, since you were talking about content, did you make use of the previous year NSEP paper? And if no, then why not? And if yes, how useful were they?
NSEP for NSEP, I think past year papers were, I mean, only about the past 3-4 years are kind of useful. The ones before that are very basic as compared to the actual NSEP these years. So I think the past 2-3 years they were good enough to get a judgment about how much I can score. But mostly my practice through mocks was through mocks which sir gave.
Okay. All right. Okay. And
just like want to emphasize what Riddhesh said, sir. So like if we compare the NSEP before 2020 and
COVID after COVID.
and 2020 onwards, so there like is a huge difference in the level of questions that has been asked. And if we can also go and I think check it online that the level kind of cutoffs that we used to have for NSEP in before 2019 and after 2020, like I think except 2024, the other 4 years, 2020, 21, 22, and 23 and 25. 25 तभी हुआ नहीं है, sorry 23 one was easy, like get confused with the INPH and NSEP cycle. So yeah, 22 and then 24. So if we look at the papers, like I think highest scores were around, I guess, 80%. So that tells something, means like in 2023, I think the MI was around 200. Am I right with this?
Yeah, 199.
Around 200 out of 220. So we could see that's around almost 90% MI. So the toppers kind of like scored, lot of them scored about 200 out of 220. And like in last year, I think the MI was around 160 out of same 220.
Yeah.
So the level of papers nowadays we are getting is closing in on the JEE Advanced level actually. Earlier they used to be somewhere around JEE Mains or maybe a little bit plus.
Okay. So, sir, in that case, let's say a student is not preparing for NSEP and only prepare for JEE Advanced. Okay, like let's say the student started the JEE Advanced preparation journey in grade 11 and he's preparing for JEE Advanced. NSEP exam, will it be helpful for this student in any way? Maybe gauging his JEE preparation or taking an experience on how would the JEE paper would be, or maybe gauging the competition that the student would be facing when he writes the JEE Advanced examination. So is NSEP helpful to this aspirant in any way?
Again, I think NSEP exam nowadays is really good. So if you are able to score really well in NSEP, so I think you will do really well in Physics JEE Advanced also. But the other side is kind of like not true, because NSEP requires like a lot of speed, right? Means you have to do 60 questions in 2 hours. And in JEE Advanced, it's like 36 questions in 2 hours. So someone might not have that kind of speed, but he might have the speed to do actually JEE Advanced paper. But I think, yeah, means if you perform really well in NSEP, you will also do well in JEE Advanced Physics. I think the history is proof for that. Like if you kind of like get the total of or marks of people who were in top 10 in NSEP, they kind of like will be in maybe at least, if not in top 10, then top 20, 30 JEE Advanced also.
So Riddhesh is already there in that bracket, I guess. He is now a Physics Olympiad gold medalist. So is it giving you any confidence that you have beaten competition, at least in one subject? Let's not talk about 3 right now. So in one subject, you have beaten the competition that you would be facing in JEE Advanced.
I wouldn't say completely beaten the competition, but yeah, most of it.
And does it give you confidence?
Yeah, it does. Obviously, it does, but not completely, because again, it's only one subject.
I think you're being modest.
No, I mean, you need to look at my chemistry.
But you've been taking care of it, huh? Every day you're studying chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, but at this moment, yeah, I am confident, but let's see.
Great. Humility is another trait of people who are going to succeed at the highest level. So another reason to cheer for you. Okay, so Riddhesh, now we'll do a rapid fire round. So I'm going to ask you a question and you have to respond, as quickly as you can, maybe a couple of seconds, maybe 3 seconds. Okay, so speed तुमने अपनी बढ़ा लिया NSEP के अंदर, अब थोड़ी और बढ़ाओ.
Yeah.
So, ठीक है, whatever I speak, that is a question. ठीक है, and okay, let's start. Newton or Einstein?
Always Newton.
Favorite topic in physics?
Mechanics.
One physics concept that you wish everyone understood?
Quantum physics.
Toughest IPSO question you solved?
Toughest.
Yes.
China 2011, maybe the Aurora question.
Okay, I think people are going to search for that question now. All right. Most overrated physics topic?
Self-extension.
Okay. Differential equations or vector calculus?
Differential equations.
Okay. Mechanics or electromagnetism? But I think you've already answered it.
Mechanics.
Okay. One experiment you would love to recreate?
Two-slit interference.
Two-slit interference. Okay. SI unit you secretly hate?
Any electrical or magnetic unit, whatever.
It's difficult to derive in the exam to check the. Okay. All right. This one is interesting. If you could rename Planck's constant, what would you call it?
Planck's constant. I mean, you need to give the credit to the person.
Okay. Wouldn't you name it Riddhesh's constant?
If I discovered it, yes. But if the history is the same, I would name it Planck's constant.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. Derivation or intuition?
Derivation.
Solve symbolically or plug in the values?
Symbolically, always.
Okay, scribble on paper or think in your head?
Think in your head and then scribble.
Okay, one math trick you have always used in Olympiads.
Can't remember any such.
Okay. Partial derivatives or a full nightmare?
Partial derivatives, they are not that bad.
Okay, okay. I'll continue with few more questions. Okay. Number of hours you slept before IPHO final?
3.5 or 4.
How much?
3.5 or 4 hours, maybe.
Okay, the night before the final.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing you always carry to the exam.
Myself.
Okay. Did you ever guess an answer and got it right?
A lot of times. I mean, first guess it, then derive it. So,
Okay. Funniest mistake you ever made in a paper?
wrote F equals to 2m. I don't know why.
You really did that?
Yeah.
One of the blocks must be having 2 mass, I guess.
No. Everything was M. I don't know. Maybe I just wrote it.
Okay. Did you tell Chansar about it?
I don't think so. It was like I realized it just an hour later in the exam. So,
Okay. Favorite physicist from history?
Boltzmann.
Favorite science fiction movie?
Interstellar.
Okay. But Boltzmann, you said Boltzmann. Why Boltzmann?
He was the first person who said that physics is not always physics, it's sometimes maths, and you cannot do everything rigorously.
Great. Most inspiring science quote?
Sorry?
Most inspiring science quote?
There is a quote by Feynman that there are no miracle people. They just got interested into the subject and worked hard, and now they are miracle people. So,
Good one. Good one. One subject you'd ban from school if you could?
I don't know. None. I mean, all of them are in.
You're being diplomatic. Riddhesh, you're being diplomatic.
I would, if I had to say,
there is an answer in your heart. I know that there is an answer in your heart.
if I had to say, I would say probably something like economics or civics. But I mean, it's important as well.
All right. Okay. What's your physics superpower?
I don't know. Maybe feeling a lot of things which are trivial. Feeling a lot of things as trivial which are not actually trivial.
Okay.
Happens.
What's your physics kryptonite?
Haven't found it yet. If anybody does, please let me know. I will brush up on it.
Okay, you understand the question, like what's kryptonite?
Yeah, I mean something which can, diffuse me in a sense. I mean,
Yes.
supernatural sense.
Basically something that can destroy you,
I haven't found it yet.
Okay. Any weird ritual you do before the exam?
Meditate for 5 minutes before the start.
Okay. And how many pens do you lose in a week?
2, 3.
Okay.
I mean, most of the time it's like I use a pen, then after 2 days it's lost with half of its refill, then after a month I find it. So it's not that fixed.
So you have now attained the equilibrium, now you're not buying new pens because of that.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay, great. Great, Riddhesh. It was going fun. It was fun doing this rapid fire with you. Thank you so much for this.
Same here.
Okay, I think we can now stop the recording. I'm stopping it.